Okay, and this time, as you may have guessed from the outro last time, we have Verdian, the Tornado of plant life. So, I know what you're thinking. If he's a plant life tower, why is he green and yellow and not green and blue? Well, I like the idea that G2 Lewa is a tower of plant life, on the grounds that he is, he's now Tower of the Jungle, or Master of the Jungle or whatever, and that doesn't seem like air to me, He was green and yellow. He was very definitely, he would have been classed as plant life in G1, or the green or whatever, so, the boy here gets the same treatment. So, he is one of a couple tower armed with paired weapons. He's also one of the team's hunchbacks, which you can tell based on how his back is hunched. That was not a good sentence. Anyway, so why have I gone for hunchbacks in the team? Why the hunchbacks? Because, I want to kind of mirror the layout of the Tormata with this group. So you have the two hunchbacks. You got you got a sword user with a free hand. You have a non-sword user with a free hand. You've got weapon shield, all of which we've seen so far. And then you have technically unarmed and two dual wielders, basically. Well, technically unarmed, two dual wielders, and one that... Well, I couldn't resist the pun, basically. You'll see. We'll get there when we get there. Anyway, tool-wise then, Verdian is armed with some of the more versatile weapons. They are machetes that can fold into boomerangs or attach to the hands as claw weapons. Pinch, pinch. He is going to pinch you. Anyway. So how is this useful for a Tower of the Green? Well, Distal as an island, much of its centre is fairly dense jungle. So he uses Mask, the Kanohi,
Kualsi,
which is the massive quick trial, to basically teleport from clearing to clearing, rather than, for example, using a Mask of Levitation to fly about the place. Compared to Lewahi, it's much, much denser. So flying isn't going to get you too far. However, on the ground, if he needs to clear a path for anyone else, he has the option of using boomerangs to drive it to scare off wild rahi. The claws to cut through some things, the machete to cut through others. He's extremely versatile. His focus is versatility more so than anything else, which is fairly essential in the environment that he's chosen as his home. And actually, because I didn't really go into it with the others, Distal then is one of the southernmost islands in the whole sort of one of the peninsulas, whatever. Aside from the jungle interior, there's a fairly broad coast. A lot of it is taken up by fishing, which is Kapan's kind of home area, quote-unquote. Then there is an elaborate offshore mining operation, overseen by Laris and one of the Toa who we haven't met yet. Mostly because the extensive sea cliffs on the southern edge of the island have a number of really unusual minerals on them that aren't really found anywhere else in the known universe. It's almost like they came from a different planet or something. Wonder how that got there. Anyway, aside from that, there is also a mysterious kind of super cold region on basically up to the sort of northwest. Despite it being roughly the same elevation as the jungle, there seems to be some kind of underground vents cooling the place, to an extraordinary degree. And it's rumoured that one of the islands to Turaga knows why, but they're not saying anything, they're keeping quiet about it. And finally, there is a fairly large population of refugees from Karzani on the east coast of the island, Mostly because ocean currents just happened to carry them there from Kazani's place. And it's actually this area that Toa Good Guy tends to oversee, as he was formerly a resident of Kazani himself, and he understands them more than anyone else. So, enough about the island. That about covers Verdian. He believes in being prepared for anything, and as a Toa, this serves him pretty well. So, teammates then. Well, actually, no, size comparison first. Here he is with a standard-sized deck of cards. I'd say he's about 2 cards tall. Actually, I can test that. No, he's 2 and a bit cards tall. Okay, cool, we'll go for him. I just shuffled the jokers in, didn't I, by accident? There we go. So putting these back away, we can bring in, well, first things first, teammates for, actually let's close on the teammates, and firstly cut to a bit that I'm filming later, because I already have a lot of stuff down to film this, of him alongside his fellow Plant Life Toa, Bissa. So here he is with Bissa, Toa of Plant Life, and here he is with Bissa, Toa of Plant Life. Back to you, me. And welcome back to the present. I hope Future Me did a good job with that bit and didn't forget to film it or anything. Anyway, the rest of his team then. Here is Laris, who he doesn't entirely get on with. Good guy. You know, he's a good guy. He's a difficult guy to dislike. Let's put it that way. It's, I didn't realise that him and Laris were basically the same pose, so let's bring Laris around a little further, put him way off to the side there, bring you a little more around like that, and have Kapan roughly at the front. And so yeah, that is the team so far. Still a couple members to go. And yeah, next time we're going to go for the one that was mentioned earlier, the mysterious other Toa that tends to chill out with my boy Laris here. See you next week.